Very much, as always, for taking the time. It is a great pleasure in speaking with you. We now move on, and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has stated that Russia will continue its trade and joint projects with Iran despite US threats to impose tariffs. This comes after US President Donald Trump had threatened on January the 12th that any country doing business with Iran would face a tariff rate of 25% on any trade with the US. Speaking at a news conference in Moscow, Lavrov made it very clear that Russia's economic dealings with Iran are determined by their mutual interests and not by external pressure. Let's take a listen in to the Russian Foreign Minister.
Ну, мы ж торгуем-то с вами, вы и мы. Как мы решим, так и будет торговля развиваться. У нас есть хорошие планы с Исламской Республикой Иран. Не только в торговле, но и в инвестиционной сфере. Атомная станция Бушер активно расширяется. Идет проработка важнейшего отрезка. И я не вижу каких-либо причин, по которым мы или иранские друзья должны эти проекты останавливать. Да, ну, Дональд Трамп, он применяет пошлины, тарифы в качестве инструментов политики. Всегда, когда односторонние принудительные меры задействуются в торгово-экономических отношениях, это говорит о том, что инициатор этих мер не вполне уверен в своих конкурентных способностях на мировых рынках.
Lavrov emphasized that the use of tariffs by President Donald Trump is a political tool and a sign of the US's insecurity in global markets. Russia sees no reason to halt these projects, which are central to its growing partnership with Iran. Peter Cardillo joins us now. He's a chief economist at Spartan Capitals in New York. Peter, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program. How much leverage do these US tariffs really have over countries like Russia, of course, which of course is already sanctioned?
Yeah, well, you know, tariffs do have some amount of leverage, but they also mean that, and this includes the United States, that the economies could slow down at a pace crawl, and as we've seen here in the United States. Inflation remaining sticky, and if these new tariffs are imposed over the Greenland geopolitical politics, obviously, if they are imposed for a sustained period of time, is going to bring higher inflation here in the United States, and probably a dose of inflation in the global economy. So again, it goes back to the point that trade wars never really have any one clear positive economic outlook for anyone, and no one wins in a trade war. And of course, you know, now with the situation with Iran, I'm sorry, with Greenland, President Trump has said that he's going to oppose, at least on 8 nations, an extra tariff that could go as much as could go as high as 25%. And we're seeing a trade war that's likely to intensify. A trade war that could last perhaps more than that was expected on either sides, and retaliation from the EU and probably other countries as well. So it's not a good thing to have a trade war that is a long-lasting trade war, and hopefully, you know, cooler heads will provide, and perhaps some solution can be achieved without imposing these strong tariffs.
Peter, as you've mentioned, it's not only Iran that has been the main reason for for tariffs being imposed on countries' top trading partners. And now we, of course, see that main focal issue of Greenland, where the United States is placing that 10% tariff on NATO, 8 NATO allies. Is Washington overusing economic pressure as a foreign policy tool? Of course, Donald Trump has previously said that tariff is his favorite word, and he doesn't seem to be moving against the strategy anytime soon.
Well, let me say this. President Trump's he's said many of times that tariffs are good, and he does have one point, and that point has been proven. That is a positive point. And that is that if you look at our trade deficit, that's come down tremendously. And if this tariff war continues and we collect and we continue to collect the monies that we have been, that trade deficit could actually turn into a positive. So that's the plus side of it. But of course, the negative side means slower economic growth, higher inflation, less consumer spending, and the possibility eventually of total isolation and a repeat that has happened in the past.
Okay, Peter, do stay with us as we move on to further updates from the United States. And Netflix has submitted